Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is where we were previously. We did some cosmetic changes on the UI. In today's video, we will be focusing on the playlist. It's been a while. I haven't touched that code, so we will going through that code base as well. So if we go to playlist, these are the playlist we previously added. Interestingly, those were hard coded in the code. By hard code, I mean I added those items in the list locally and we haven't saved that data in the database or anywhere else. So let me show you. If I go to the service, and the post service was for the post, and yeah, the playlist service. So it has that business model in the same service class, which is not ideal. And the interface and the implementation, here we can see a list is declared and we are populating that list with those different playlist objects, and each object have the thumbnail, title, description, and the URL of the video. So we are not going to move that list into the database in this video, but we will add few more items in that list. So for that one, firstly we need to see what are the other different items we have in the channel. So let me go to the channel and let's see the playlist we have now. So yeah, we have now Docker playlist as well, the minimal APIs and ChatGPT, and other than that we have one for the AI and GitHub as well. Node packages, let me see if we have node packages. No, so we don't have node packages, that's fine. So let's start with the Docker minimal APIs and the ChatGPT. So I will be opening those playlists into a
Let's
separate
see how we
tab
can make that
and
API accessible on localhost. Which
can
API? This
copy
Test Docker
the
API. This is
URL
built on .NET
and
9.0
we'll need a
latest
thumbnail
framework.
as well.
And
So now we have thumbnail as well and the link to the URL, and let's go to the code now. Here we can add a new playlist, and it will have an ID. So by looks of it, you can understand there is a lot more to do in that website, but previously we just put all the necessary information or required logic to make that website working. The thumbnail URL is here, and next we'll need our title, Docker for .NET, and for description we'll need to add some brief detail. This series is about Docker for .NET, including API, web app, and much more. And the URL finally, so we now need to add the URL of that playlist. Let me run the application now. So now we have that section for Docker appearing as well, and this should redirect us to the playlist, and that is fine. So we have added playlist for Docker. Next is minimal APIs in .NET.
let's now try to understand program.cs file in detail. This is the
So the thumbnail and the URL of the playlist. So ideally that should be for the first video. So let me
Let's start with the overview of minimal
take this one,
APIs. Minimal APIs in .NET 8.
and let's go to the code again. Again, not an ideal way to add playlist, but because we have that website live, so just to add this support, we'll need to add in memory object. This time thumbnail is equals to this image, then title dot net minimal APIs. Next is description. This series covers topics related to APIs in .NET using C Sharp and all related topics. And lastly, the URL. test that one as well. So now we should have another playlist, and we have now .NET Minimal APIs, and that should redirect us to the first video from that playlist. Let's start with the overview of Minimal APIs. Minimal
Yeah,
APIs in
that's
.NET
fine.
8.0. Let me close extra tabs and let's see if we have any other playlist. Yeah, one we have that for ChatGPT. We have one for Postman, Entity Framework, Git configs, useful packages. So let's try to add one for testing as well. This is the link of that playlist, and let's
Two
grab
pages are
a
there,
quick
zero pass to
thumbnail
failed.
as
Any
well.
software we are building should be accessible. Either some web, mobile or desktop app, it should be accessible to any kind of user with any
So that is the thumbnail, that is the
disability. Today we are going to see a tool which help us.
that is the first video from that playlist. And again, let's try to add another object here. And let me collapse that one, and we'll add another object ID. Then thumbnail should be this one, and title is testing. Series covers all topics related to testing, including TDD, VDD, unit testing, automation or manual testing. And lastly, the URL, and that would be the URL of that thumbnail. This one, no, URL of the playlist. Control F5. So we have that barely CLI accessibility thumbnail appearing, which is good.
Two pages are
And lastly, the AI. Let me copy the URL and copy the URL of the image, the thumbnail, and let's try to add another playlist. ID, thumbnail, title, description, and this will cover everything related to AI, and the URL should be the URL of video. Let's test that as well. So we have AI as well, and the more playlist, that is not suitable button here, and although that is dummy, previously we kept that one just to make sure if we need this for implementing something like load more, but seems like we don't or will not have enough playlists can be load all at once, so we can simply remove that button as well. For that one, we need to go to the Solution Explorer, and let's go to the views. And views, we need to go to the playlist, and there should be a load more container. For now, let's comment that one, and that should be removed from that UI straight away. And the training section is not completed yet, so we can hide that one because the changes are still on the local version. So for that one, let's go to the shared layout, and here we can hide that part. Yeah, for more info, let's see if we can redirect that to the out section of this channel. So yeah, so we have a pop here. Yeah, not sure how that will appear for the end users. So we open this one. One idea is to navigate the community from that button. For now, let's do that. Later on, we'll see if it's required. We can use a different link. So for that button, we need to go to the home, and on home we have that more info button here, and for href we'll use that link. And yeah, I think we need to use extra at the rate to print at the rate as string in Razor views, and for the target that should be blank. So more info will take us now to the community in a separate tab, and playlist page now have few more playlists as well. That was all change we want to do for this video, and let's push that change. to the repository as well, and changes will be pushing to the feature v1 branch again because we haven't completed the first version yet. So let's use the same branch for now, and let me create a PR offline, and once it's done we'll be merging that to the main branch, which means that changes will be deployed on the website shortly, so the changes will be available on the live website as well. So that was all for this video. See you in the next one.